time for prize number 4 in the Apostle P channel's 2,500 subscriber giveaway. You guys are going to like this story, and one of you is going to really enjoy this knife for perhaps some odd reasons. We'll get to that. Stay tuned. Hi gang, Rob here. It's the evening of 3 March 2014, and yes, this is prize number 4 in the Apostle P channel 2,500 subscriber giveaway, and it is a Buck Vantage Pro with beautifully sculpted G10 handle scales, stainless steel liner lock, gorgeous drop point hollow ground blade with the Bose heat treat, crafted of CPM S30V steel. Got the oval shaped hole. I think Buck sort of used that in their Mayo designs and carried it over into this one. What a gorgeous blade it is. But there's something not quite stock about it, isn't there? Huh. There is. This knife has a story, my friends. And you know, the Buck Vantage, you know, the whole model series has a story, doesn't it? They were knives eagerly anticipated in our community, weren't they? Buck was finally getting into the modern age of knife making. It was a folder that could flex from an EDC to a tactical roll and use modern materials. Crucible, powdered metal technology, state-of-the-art stainless steel, G10 handles, deep carrier reversible pocket clip. What's not to like? And it's so beautiful, isn't it? Look at that handle. Oh, well, that's sort of where the good stuff ended, wasn't it? The model was fraught with problems. Let's just run down some of them. We had blades crashing into the backspacer. We had poor lockup all over the place, early, late, up and down play, side to side play, lack of smoothness. We had a liner lock that stuck way up into the finger choil. This one's been modified, we'll get to that. Terribly uncomfortable to grip. Centering of the blades was horrible. They made some changes. They did modify this backspacer. In order to facilitate clearance, they kind of shortened the blades a little bit, ground the heck out of them when they sharpened them. Changed midstream from Teflon to phosphor bronze washers. This is a phosphor bronze washer knife, by the way. I guess they tried to do some things to kind of tighten up the clearances and make the knives more consistently constructed. I'm not sure they ever got that right. So many of us who were Buck Vantage owners, well, we fell out of love quickly. But they're still beautiful knives, and they still have top quality materials, and if you can get one to behave right, they're just a cool knife to have in the collection. This knife was not mine. I sold mine a few months ago, and this one belongs to an old YouTube buddy and Christian brother, Campfire Talk. He actually called me last week. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, not knowing that I was really going to have a contest anytime soon, or a giveaway. And he had become so frustrated with this knife, he could not adjust the side-to-side play out of it without the blade almost locking up. He didn't know what was wrong with it. The centering was horrible. Not bad now, though. And he just didn't want it anymore. But he thought, you know, it's too nice of a knife to throw away, so how about if I send it to my buddy Rob and see if he can make a knife out of it. So he called me and said, I'm going to send this to you. If you can make it safe and make it something you want to use, feel free to keep it. If not, throw it away. I said, you know what? I am going to see if I can make a knife out of it, but I'm not going to throw it away. If I can, I'm going to put it in my giveaway. Because, I don't know, I thought maybe some of you guys out there, or you ladies, might be crazy, deluded, twisted enough to want kind of a made-over, customized Vantage Pro that had been owned by and worked on by Campfire Talk and me. I think there might be 2 or 3 of you out there. We'll see. So let me tell you what's been done. When Camp owned this knife, he went around the whole perimeter and he sanded and sort of polished the liners so that they're just about flush with the G10 scales, which was a problem on these knives. They were kind of jacked up in that regard. He also trimmed the locking leaf of that far side liner. Your thumb still can get adequate purchase to unlock the knife. However, when you're in the saber grip, it doesn't dig into your index finger anymore. That's a mod that I did on mine too. And then, after he had his problems with it, and it became in my custody, here's what I did. This knife had the absolute worst base of the edge, or the ricasso, that I've ever seen ground into a buck knife. This edge, as it got back to here, the guy who sharpened it at the factory just dug it. I mean, he screwed it up. And the edge sort of went up like this, and then back down. There was a big flare. If you know these knives, you know there's a little sharpening notch right back here by the handle. And that thing was obliterated. There was this big recurve, a big knob. It just had to go. So it got my forward choil mod, and I think it came out really well. It's so comfortable in that forward grip. I mean, it's, oh gosh, it really is. If you want to choke up with a pinch grip for really fine work, you can do that. Oh man, just love it. That choil is nicely finished, deburred on the corners, just makes it handle well. I don't think it detracts from the appearance of the knife too much. What do you guys think? So I did that, and I also disassembled it, found some pretty horribly stamped liners. The corners were all rounded off. I couldn't find a flat spot. I sanded them till they were flat, sanded and polished the washers, and here's what we were left with. A knife that flips pretty good for having a really small flipper. I mean, really small flipper. I've got 0 side-to-side play. Pretty darn tight. And how's that centering look? Not bad for a Vantage, wouldn't you say? Now guys, just so you know, I'm not going to guarantee how long this knife stays in adjustment to this degree. One of the things about the Vantage, the clearances and the method of construction are just not conducive to them holding up and staying in the same position for very long. So if you want this knife, please enter to win it, but understand you might have to tinker with it a little bit. You know, you might have to be the next YouTuber to throw your skills at this Vantage. this knife we love to hate. Let me read you real quickly the letter that it came with from Campfire Talk. It says, Rob, hey brother, here's the Buck Vantage Pro we talked about. Found the original box right here, and it does come with that, as well as the Buck Forever warranty card. This is the same one I worked on and did a video on, modifying the scales and the lock bar. It never has been a smooth opener. Before shipping, I adjusted the pivot screw and shot some oil in there. Still no help. If the screw's loose, it'll open freely. But the lockup, if you can call it that, is not adequate. The cutting edge is not much better. If anyone can get her in working order, it's you. I felt it wrong to sell her or throw her in the trash. This option of sending her to you I felt was the right move. No worries if this one turns out to be a lemon. This is her best shot at being saved and being used by a new owner. Talk to you soon, my friend. Campfire Talk. Yeah. Did I forget to mention, along with that forward choil came a gleaming near mirror polished TheApostleP edge. Oh yeah. That's a secondary bevel of 15 degrees per side with a little skinny 19-degree micro. Easy to touch up on a sharp maker if you own one. So guys, if you want this, and I hope somebody does, and please, don't enter this contest unless you appreciate what you're getting, and frankly it might be a little hard to appreciate unless you're one of us. So throw a comment on this video if you're interested, explaining why you'd like to own it. and also referencing the secret code, which you can find in the kickoff video for this contest. It's in the description. If your device can't read the description, skip to about the 10-minute mark in the video. All the secret codes for each of the 4 prizes are given. So enter the code, enter the reason that you like to own this knife, and as with the other 3, somewhere around the 14th of March, we're going to find out who won them. So enjoy yourselves, guys. Good luck. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.